That's the Zach Wilde version. I think we are live. What's up? Ben, Sean, the other Ben, Electro Omega, Johnny R. Kramer, Deanna Fisher, the other Electro Omega, Super Lead, Eddie Jr., Sean Randy, Frank C., Michael Krause, Matt Thomas, John Cage, Speaker, John Gregory, audio and video sounds great, I believe ya. Oh yeah, no, it just comes to life, Drunken Scoundrel. It just happens. You know how that goes. So you're walking along and all of a sudden, wham! You're like, what the? What's up, Coots? What's up, Vince? Larry? Christopher B. Man. Andy. Brian. What's up, buddy? Eddie Jr. Using the Volas to work on Heart Magic Band, right? Is that G? Great riff, great tune. Oh, this part always reminds me of Romper Room. Never had my name called. It still burns to this day. 50 years later, and I still have just the searing, burning resentment. What the frick, Steve? Really? Of all the names, Steve. That one never came up. What's up, Ron? Johnny Bean, what's up, buddy? Retro Puffer, Yeti Motzi, Surf B. We never take a Saturday off unless I'm at NAMM or I have a stomach bug. I think those are the only 2 times in like the last 3 years. Does this come with a rosewood or an ebony neck? I think they make this with a rosewood in the painted traditional model. I don't think this exact guitar with this exact configuration, though. I think it's all maple, but that might change. You know, it gives you room to... If you put them all out at once, then there's no room to change. So I think, you know, at some point... And you know that they can do it because they've done it with the, with the Keen machine. Which they should take that guitar. That's a great guitar. But there's a lot of things that add up to cost on that guitar that you don't need. You could make it with a more, common paint job like a metallic red or something. They have a bunch of regular paint jobs in there. I think it's the MC V3, right? Modern Carve version 3. Take that. Don't use the Fishman pickups. That adds a bunch of cost to it. Right? Get rid of the Fishmans. That's because the artist is a Fishman artist and he requires that in his guitars. But that adds a bunch of cost to it. And then the inlays could be scaled down to just regular dot inlays. But leave it. Keep the Floyd Rose. Don't get rid of that. And keep the push-pull knob. Make it a coil split. Boom! I just invented their new guitar. Love that blue song. Almost pulled the trigger on one on reverb, but someone beat you to it. You can get some good bargains on their reverb store because that's a lot of their B stock, and there's nothing wrong with them. Right, just a return. Fishman is local. Use their pickups. You know what? I don't have any objection to Fishman pickups, but they are more expensive. There's not. I mean, these are their in-house pickups. They sound fine. Just as a way to to drop the cost, you know. Steve, thoughts on Badlands? My guess is they will fold after the hollow flashes to limit. Oh, I don't think so. But you'll watch. They'll make a more like the hollow flash. I tell you, that striped one was hard to make because 2 colors striped like that's a ball buster paint job. The hollow flash is probably even a little bit easier, believe it or not, than that first one. And I'll bet their next one will be even easier. Maybe just a straight up solid color. You know, take the burden off of the paint process. The problem that Badlands is going through, and it's not just Badlands, it's pretty much everybody, is you're on a massive waiting list to get the hardware. It's hard to sell a guitar, you know, when you're waiting on supply chains. And what you find out is that, you know, unless you're like Ibanez, some big heavyweight in the industry that's like racking up some massive order, you get pushed down the road. So right now they're quoting people like, you know, literally like 8 months out. That's a long waiting period, you know. So it gets. In fact, I was talking to a dealer, and I was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm thinking about throwing some DiMarzios in this guitar," and they were like, "Might be a little tricky right now." He's like, "You know, DiMarzio." He goes, "I'm having trouble getting DiMarzios here." He goes, "I just." You know, they don't want to deal with the small dealers. He goes, they probably have a major order from Ibanez or some other big maker, you know, that's putting, DiMarzio pickups in. And it's just like, it's sold, it's gone. Rather than go to dealers, they just see that as such a big order. And you know, that gets priority. He said, so we get, because it's tricky. He goes, not that we don't get any. He's like, but it's always back ordered. It's like we're always waiting on stuff. So I heard Duncan was kind of getting like that too. It's tricky to get Duncan stuff retail because they have so many OEM orders to fill. You Is Philip McKnight still involved with Badlands? I don't think so. I was watching a show and he mentioned that he wasn't. And then he said something like, you know, I like to get businesses started and help them get off the ground, but then usually I exit. I'm like, all right. What's up, Mark? It says he waited 2 years to find the matching Duncan because it was a special zebra. Yeah, that's how it goes. It's like you can get certain stock, seems to still be available kind of readily, but not the one you want. You're like, who's that? Oh, that's Henri. That's Henri cat. I would have called her Socks, Soxy, or Stripey. Come on. That's Henri. Oh, he's like, window's open, huh? We'll check out a window. But really, that's Cutie's sister. They came in on the same litter. And really, it's socks and boots. She's got the socks and Cutie's got the boots. Oh, that is good. Yo, what's up? Bird? Yeah, that's YouTube for cats. Uh, 37 Tone X1 videos in your feed this week, and you didn't watch one of them. What was, was that wrong? No, it's because I didn't get one. You never watch a product that I don't have here. That's the general rule you should follow. What's up, Tony? How many cats do I have? 4. 4 is the correct answer. Yeah, how are the Celtics doing? I meant to catch some of that game, but I have been rushing around to get projects done. We're crushing them 63-39 at the half. I'm feeling good about this one, but you never know. We've really sucked in the second half. So, you know, you'd think it would be locked up, but hold on. Hold my beer. Yeah, rain finally stopped in Boston. We, you know, we were sort of all over the place this week. We had some nice days, and then it got cold, and we had a little rain. But I wanted to get out. I had to do more carpentry projects. I painted the back porch. Finally got that painted. At least the deck. I still have to paint some of the siding, and I want to go over the white anyway. And I have to touch up anyway, so. But did I take a picture? I might have taken a picture. Might not be online though. Let's see. Is it here? Is it up there? Yeah. There's the back deck, all painted. Like I said, I still have to do the white, but it's good to go. Look how much those spread apart. Those were almost abutted right against each other. People said when I got them, they're like, do not space these out. They're going to shrink like crazy. And they weren't kidding. Anyway. What else can I show you from this week? Oh, yeah. Where is it? Yeah, there's a good shot. I added a second post to my railing here. Tied it in down here. I believe, yeah, with a lag bolt. I'm going to lag bolt those puppies right in. You're good to go. Yeah, thanks. It's getting there. You know, I got to paint the front. I got to get there. But at least I have these. At least I got the post in. Which, you know, it takes friggin' forever. You know, I got to take the front stair up. I got to get this in here and get the spacer correct. You got to tie it all in together and then run that lag bolt through. You know, tie it all in. It's a bit of a to do, but this could hold a ridiculous amount of weight. It's probably what we would call over-engineered, but I had the wood, and I said, "What the frick? Let's just do it." Exactly. Lag bolts can fix anything. Broken headstock? Sure. I say if you quit, you're a quitter. Just lag bolt that puppy together. I'm gonna have to take a break and get a coffee at some point. I'm blowing through this coffee because I didn't get a fresh one. I was working off this one for a little while before I started. Not good. Not good. What's up, Quentin? Yeah, Tom Silver came by. He went, yeah, look good, yeah. What you want to put this right here. You grab it over there. When I get my coffee, you'll go get one too. Good idea. There you go. Where are all those new guitars? That is a great question. And the answer is en route. They have been shipped. They are on their way. I thought they were going to arrive today, but I don't think I think they, when I was, you know, because they get them, they're going, you think, oh, and they were even estimating they were going to be delivered today. But then they're like, due to like a staffing issue, like FedEx, they're like, yeah, that driver didn't show up to work today, so it's not going to be there today. So now they're saying Monday. Okay. So, no, I talked to them. And you want to say, how many guitars am I getting? That's the question. How many guitars am I feel like this thing is just, it's making me mental here. I feel like it's so noisy. Maybe that's a little better. The correct answer is equal to the number of licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. That is the correct answer. Oh, Bill knows. Now a 3, a 1, a 2, a 3. So I have 3 guitars coming. I'm not going to tell you the brands, but you're willing to speculate on them. What brands? What brands are showing up? I went with 3 different brands. There's no duplicates. There are no duplicates. I will give you one hint, and this was by accident. I didn't realize it until all 3 were shipped. All 3 have Floyd Rose tremolos. No, we're not. That's a good guess, Jay Shaft, but not a single one of either one of those. Mike might have one right. Nope, Calvin, not any of those. Epiphone is a good guess, but not correct. I don't think Epiphone is on this order, but I am scoping out Epiphones. I have been looking at Epiphones. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I can find it here. Maybe bring that over here. Is it here? Yeah. Now this is just a mock-up. This isn't, this isn't real. This is just me with Photoshop mocking up what something could look like here. Okay? This isn't real. But this is one possible future. And it would look like that. And you may note, certain, I'm playing my Kramer. But, you might notice a certain new model in the background. Ibanez, Fender, Harley, Benton, none of those. Ooh, Calvin's onto something with his Schecter, EVH, and something. That's a good guess. And the first video is not going to drop, I think, until Monday the 6th, because I'll get the guitars here like Monday, Tuesday, it looks like, and I'll shoot the videos for them, and I'll have the video like ready to go for like the following Monday. I hate releasing videos on like a Friday or a Saturday. They always seem to die. They never do well. Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, people are busy than watching like regular produced videos. I find that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, much better days. The double neck PRS. Well, I knew someone was going to get it. At only 14,500. Steve, did they have to be scratch and dent, or could you get anything? I think they would. They haven't said it's scratch and dent. They've never limited me to that. But I work off the scratch and dent just because I don't want the burden of like opening a new guitar, effectually making it an open box for them, and they'll sell it on the open box. But it's like, why? What's the point? They get back pretty current, guitars off of open box. They had a couple of the new. They didn't have a new Les Paul Custom, Epiphone Les Paul Custom, but I think they had like the triple pickup SG in an open box or a demo, and they might have had the 59 in an open box, and they had a pretty sick looking ES 335 with the, with the big diamond headstock Epiphone in white. It was gorgeous. Again, that was an open box. So there's plenty of stock to work from the open. One thing I was bummed about was I was targeting a headless Ibanez, and they sold it. They didn't have it, so I couldn't get it. And again, I really don't want them sending me new guitars. I just don't. It's too much pressure. I don't want to. I'd much rather take a blem. This was a blem. You can't see the blem on it. It's freaking gorgeous. It's really like a demo. Sterling, that's a brand I want to check out. So I think this first run, again, by accident, was all a bunch of Floyd Rose. And again, that's going to take 3 weeks to publish the videos. I'll shoot the videos in like a day and a half. We'll send them all back and get the next round. I want to front load this so that we can take a few weeks off. I could even take like July and August off, and I have a video for every week ready to go. And the plan is we do it monthly. We do a guitar of the week, and I just parade a new guitar through every week just to check out. What do you think? What do you think about this one? Right? We look at them. We go, yeah, it's pretty good. And at the end of the month, we can go back and we can do, maybe during a live show, or we'll do a separate in the community or a video. I don't know how we'll do it. We'll figure it out. We'll get we'll do a poll, and we will vote for the guitar of the month. And then that will become the guitar of the month for the month of May. We will know by the end of the month, the guitar of the month for the month of May. And then we'll do it for June, and then July, and so forth. Now, at the end of the year, I can probably don a tuxedo t-shirt with built-in bow tie. And we can do guitar of the year, looking back of all the guitars of the month, and then voting on guitar of the year. And there you go. It's like that song, the do 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 da da da. It's meaningless and all that's true. Are all your current guitars okay with this new open relationship? I'm like, I'm not in love, baby. It's just a physical thing. Exactly. It's meaningless. Exactly. You got to do it. Exactly. A New Year's Eve to salute to, because it's going to be the most expensive ones that'll make it, right? Oh my God. No, Eddie, no, we have to have a Steve Harvey moment. Like, because it won't be 12 guitars, right? There'll be like, what, 7, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 8, right? There'll be 8 guitars for Guitar of the Year this year, because it's a limited year. And 7 times we'll have to go through. Oh my God, I picked the, what's that? Oh, I am sorry. That was not the Guitar of the Year. We'll go through that 7 times until by process of elimination, the only one left would have to be the winner. I know I'm going to be on a first name basis with the delivery owner, the delivery person. It's yeah, we'll see. I think doing them in batches like that makes sense. Get them in, shoot the vids, get them out. I don't even have to edit the videos, but I'll have the raw footage, right? It's just recording and getting the raw footage down and getting it, stored away in the, on the server. And then being able to, over the coming weeks, being able to edit it, put it together, and put, Guitar of the Month. Guitar of the Month. Guitar of the Month. I'll probably be sued. Okay, probably can't use that one. Guitar of the Month. Guitar of the Month. No, that's not going to work. We'll come up with one. Guitar of the Month. Something like that. We'll come up with one of those will work. Yeah, the loudness, the Guitar of the Week. Guitar of the Week. Guitar of the Week. Guitar of the Week. It could work. Something. I'm just thinking out loud here. One of those will work. Guitar of the Week. Guitar of the Week. Guitar of the Week. Guitar of the Week. I'm just spitballing. We'll come up with something. Guitar of the Week. Something like that. We'll come up with something. They write themselves, apparently. What's the price range for what? For the Guitar of the Week? I'm focusing on guitars between $500 and $1,500. I think once you get over $1,500, people start to lose interest. They don't. It's whatever. And I think once you get under $500, people don't. They don't trust them. They think it's weird. There's a sweet spot between like 500 and 15, with probably the biggest number being like $899, right? That's probably where most of them will be. Like, where's the average Epiphone right now? I think, the Les Paul Custom is $799. I want to say that new LP Custom is $1299. The Les Paul Standard 50s, that first version was like, I want to say $699. So, right in that range. I'd like to be around there. So, but you know what? There's a lot of things I've never had here. Like I haven't had an SE ever on here. I'm sure I could get a couple of SEs to show off. One of the new Silver Skies. I'm sure I could get a regular Silver Sky if I wanted to, but now you're starting to get around $2,000. I mean, it's cool and everything, but I think it's hard to stick like a $2,000 or $2,500 guitar in a month with a bunch of other guitars that are $700 or $800, and then have all those candidates up for Guitar of the Month. Right? Kind of unfair. They're going to choose the $2,800 like Petrucci model. So you know, you got to be careful with that. I think if I'm going to do a month where they're going to be sort of high-end guitars, I think they all have to be sort of high-end to sort of compete with each other. It gets a little odd, right? Because then when you get to the end of the year, they're not really in the same... You almost have to break it down by price class because they're not really, you know, in the same market. You talking brand new sealed box, 5 to 1500? Yeah, exactly, brand new. And you know, and what I can get, you know, I can't get like a vintage guitar. Oh, why don't you get like one of those, you know, Squire Pros? It's like, well, they're discontinued, and they've been discontinued for a number of years. You know, it's not like that. It's really what's out there for new stock, like right now. That's really what I can get my hands on. You know, for loaners. You know, I would prefer it to be, and I think if you look, most of the guitars, like, used and on, like, they really run between, like, 500 and 750, 500 and, like, 900, somewhere in there. That seems to be, like, if you looked at a bell curve, I'll bet it's, like, that's where the most guitars lie. Then again, Jackson makes a few guitars. Man, I feel like my voice is low. Jackson makes a few. I feel like this thing, am I low on battery? Is that what it is? The battery in this thing dying? Hold on a second. Check. Yeah, I think it's a tiny bit better. Sometimes you just have to spin the battery a little bit in there and make a little bit better contact and rough it up. Sometimes you just got to rough it up a little bit. Yeah, see? Look who, I'm the boss here, see? Loud and clear, good. I'd like you to see you do a review of an ESP LTD. That is going to be on the, ESP LTD is on the short list. I'm big time. Because I agree with, I've never had an ESP here. I've owned an ESP. Speaker remembers my ESP. He probably remembers me hating it. And dumping it for my Ibanez RG 560. But I do want to get an ESP. We're just looking. Calm down. We're just going to look. We're just going to take a little look here. That's what we do. We look. Looking at guitars and electric guitars. All right. Yeah, right there. Electric guitars. There we go. And, oh, sorry. You're not on the screen. There you go. And then we go to... You said ESP, right? I think even it's 41. I bet they're all LTDs. Yeah, they're not ESPs. They're really LTDs. Let's sort low to high. Oh, some cases. Oh yeah. A few good looking guitars here. Now, what did you say? You wanted a ESP LTD SN1000. SN1000 is the correct answer. There's an H1001, EC1000. What do we got? And a Phoenix 1000. Not bad. We got more over here. 1000 H3. All right. He's saying what did you say? You said LTD SN1000. SN. Looking for the S. We're looking for the N. Oh, right there. SN1000 TD. Oh, but you want an FR. That's HT, so that's probably hardtail. And you want Floyd Rosa. Floyd Rosa. Let's see. What we got? We got anything? Oh, we got another page. Nope. So they don't have the Floyd Rose version, but they do have the hardtail version. They probably have it new, but I'm working off the clearance stock because I would prefer to. Again, they have never, I can't be clear about, they've never put that restriction on. That's a restriction I've put in place. I have to say, though, that's a good-looking guitar, though. Even that hardtail is looking pretty sweet. I don't like the look of it. Makes you look kind of sophisticated. Oh, yeah, and it's like a sandblast. Pretty cool. Yeah. Check them all. And what are the pickups EMG? Fishman. Fishman Fluence. We have cats in the window. We got cats in the window. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hold on. Wait a second. Let me get my. Hold on. Jesus, my back. My butt. There we go. Let's see if we can get this to work. It may not work, but if it does work, then it's working. Let's try. Can I hit that? You gotta do that every once in a while. Gee. There we go. It is dry. We have been dry. I have a little coffee left. Oh my God, thank God. It's all over. Steve. I've officially seen it all. There's a 1998 MIM Strat on Reverb for $35,000. Inflation, bro. He's not crazy. You are. Now, granted, it's a Clapton promo guitar, but this is still insane. You know, that's why a lot of guys don't want to sign guitars anymore, because dudes get pick art signed and they throw it on some $99 Squire and they ask $3,500 for it. If it's a MIM Strat, they want $35,000 for it. It's they're chasing a pot of gold. Well, good luck. Good luck with that, bro. So this was the anniversary of losing China Mike, Lance Milton. His real name was Lance, but he went by Mike on camera. It was sort of a stage name he had picked up for years. See, everyone called him China Mike, but passed away a year ago. Too young, just such a young guy. I'd say he's the first one in like our little YouTube group, to pass away. ALS, just a horrible disease. It just, it worked quickly. He declined very quickly, and the next thing you know, he was gone. It was tough. And it reminds me because, springing, and everything's sort of like renewing, and you're getting the rebirth, and it just sort of reminds me this was a tough week to to think about Mike, and really Mike's family. Because ALS it's like literally the definition of helplessness, because you watch your loved one, slowly become immobile. There's nothing you can do about it, and it's cruel. It's torturous. So rest in peace, Mike. Again, even a year later, it's stunning that this guy is gone. We were just hanging out at NAMM a couple of years ago. Hanging out in Germany, just like literally just a few years ago. And that is, I guess, maybe I'm still in the denial part. Granted, I have Lou Gehrig's. Yeah, that's what this was, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. So, yeah, it's what Jason Becker. Also, Stephen Hawking, right? It's the same thing. But it's weird because it seems like if you get it in your late teens or early 20s, you can survive it for a number of years. But if you get it in your late 40s, you're not surviving any. We had a guy down the street who had it, and he, again, kind of the same trajectory, about a couple of years, about 2 years of decline, and then it just finally got him. It's horrible. As a matter of fact, it's funny you mentioned, I don't know, let me see if I have this online so I can reach it here. Let me see here. I was scanning some magazines recently. We had a rainy day, and that was followed by a kind of a crispy cold day. Couldn't paint. There wasn't a ton I could do outside. It was actually pretty chilly out. And Buddy loves to go to the attic. So we were up in the attic, and I digitized a bunch of magazines. And let me see if I can call that up from this computer here off the server. I think I can. It's under Terra 3. Sheet music. Here we go. Now we're waiting for it to pull in. Sheet music. Hold on here. Guitar tabs. Magazines. It's under the M. Magazines. Yeah, right in here. Let me see. So what year this would have been? Yeah. Let me. Can I say show full page? Full page view. Fit to height. Can you do it without scrolling? Enable scrolling? There you go. Can I do a 2-page layout? 2-page layout. Can we say, what a bitch. Can we say, show a cover page in a 2-screen layout? I mean, come on. Now you're just pissing me off. All right. So, I've been digitizing my stuff. And I got to say, I'm digitizing it. This file is like almost 400 megs. And the reason why I'm digitizing them at such high res is because the storage only gets cheaper. And every single time, But I could have sworn somewhere in here. Stevie Ray. This is 1990, I think. Vivian Campbell. Ingve. He's got hair. That's how old this magazine is. Kramer, still doing ads. Rocktron. Red Beach. Well, there you go. That's bringing back memories. But I could have sworn there was an ad in here. I just saw an ad. I think it might be in this, and it is Jason Becker. Well, Michelangelo. And this is October 1990. Metal Method. Hamer. Hendrix. Hendrix's Flying V. Where the hell was that? I could have sworn it was this one because I remember it was it was like right around 89 or 90. Could have been a different one. There it is. That's it. There's the ad. Carvin, right there. Jason Becker. So this would have been, October of 1990. $8.99. To go direct. Can we fit with? And do a single page. Yeah, there you go. The finest in neck through body guitar. Step up to Carvin. The DC 200 translucent blue. Which $8.99 in 1990 that's not cheap. But it's a premium guitar. I knew I saw him recently. You just scan the magazines in the computer. Is there a special process? It is a very ridiculously long and expensive process. And as I was doing it, I was realizing just how ridiculously long and expensive. But at the end of the day, it does. So, where do I have? Do I have a picture? Can I go to Amazon from here? Right here, and I guess it would be a Fujitsu. Yeah, ScanSnap IX 1600. That's exactly what I got. Yeah. What? What's the matter? What? Yeah, here it is. That's it right there. The ScanSnap IX 1600 wireless USB. I may not have. Did I get the I think I did get the wireless one. But then you have to set up a profile. If you run it just as it runs out of the box, it'll go through those pages so fast it'll make your head spin. Like, but they're kind of low res. What I do is I go in there and I set everything to like max. Max scan. And then it goes much slower, but it's still pretty fast. And remember, it scans both sides of the page at the same time. There's a scanner on one side and the other side. But to run it through, you got to chop the pages up, and chopping the pages up is a colossal pain in the ass. Yeah, let me see if I can show you yeah. I kind of have one of these. I have a guillotine paper cutter that I paid about $150 for. It can cut an entire ream of paper. And that's kind of what you need. It's hard to do it. You could do it maybe with a ruler and a set of clamps and a really sharp razor blade. But I can tell you right now, it's a big pain in the ass. And so the only really way to do it is use a guillotine paper cutter. That's going to run you $200. And then the scanner is going to run you $400. You're $600 in the hole. I was thinking about this earlier. Now granted, I used my scanner for my work for a while, so that was a write-off for me. And same with the paper cutter, because I kind of worked in the paper pushing business, so you sometimes need to cut paper, and I can write off a paper cutter as a part of an office expense, years ago, like literally 10 years ago. So I have the equipment, but yeah, it's expensive. It's a big pain in the ass. And then the other thing is, you have to be absolutely sure that the magazine, if it's held together with staples, which Guitar for the Practicing Musician was, most of them, once you get it past around 1990, all go to a glue binding. They all switch to glue bindings. But for the longest time, it's a saddle staple. And that staple will gouge the blade. And if you don't get that staple out, you'll cut the staple in half, but it will notch the blade, and you'll never get a clean cut. You'll always have one little run. As you cut a whole ream of paper, there'll always be one little streak down where the blade is not perfect. You'd have to replace the blade, and the blades are very expensive, and you cut your finger off just trying to pull that stupid heavy blade out of there. It's like kind of a one-way street. I'm not pulling that blade out. I'll friggin' cut my arm off, for Christ's sakes. So yeah, the more I looked at it, and the more I'm like, I'm doing it, and I have the equipment, so I can go through and do this. But my God, it's expensive. You're talking $600 in equipment just to get started. And it takes a good 15 to 20 minutes per magazine to put together. And you need a full-blown copy of Adobe Acrobat to do it. So now you're going to buy Adobe Acrobat as well. Because what you have to do is, to do it correctly, most of the magazines are mixed media. I got one right here. So here's a magazine, right? Here's a magazine. So most of the magazine is regular color, right? And I can tell you this, having just recently scanned some magazines from 1992 and some from 2022, the print quality of the 2020 magazine blows, right? You went from 240 pages to barely hitting 100 pages in these magazines. They're lucky if they can get to 100 pages. And the print, you can just see it when I scan it. You can just see the contrast, and the colors are so much better in these old printings, even though they're 30 years old, versus one from like literally 2 years ago. Because the paper is so thin, it's so crappy. It's just, the blacks are washed out and gray, the colors are very muted. It's the printing process has really taken a hit compared to what they used to be. But this will be a mixed media. It's going to be color. But then at some point it goes to this like stupid newspaper copy, right? They all did that for right? And they basically said it was a way so it wouldn't be shiny when you looked at it, right? But the reality is that it was a lot cheaper paper than the color paper, and it was a lot cheaper to print black and white. Here's a guitar. Same thing, right? At some point, right there. There you go. That you can't see it, but that's regular newspaper style print. Matte finish, black and white, versus the rest of it, which is all color. There's a centerfold. That's hot. Look at you, Slashy. Back then he was Slush. What year is this? This is 92. And that issue come with the vinyl. Some of them did. A lot of guitar, not so much Guitar World or Guitar for the Practicing Musician, but Guitar Player magazine. They're the ones that had the vinyl, right? Was it? Right. Like a Vi song? Every Guitar World for the Practicing Musician from the mid-'80s. I have the very first issue. I actually digitized it and dumped it because it wasn't getting any younger. I literally walked into the Bentley Smoker after going to Berkeley that summer and went in to look at like Guitar Player and Guitar World magazines, and there was a new guitar magazine on the shelf called Guitar for the Practicing Musician. And I bought it. I had the premiere issue. In fact, I had a lot of the first year issues. And I digitized it, though. It had Steve Howe on the cover. And they did, I'm trying to think of the tunes, but God, I loved Guitar for the Practicing Musician. And then in the 90s, my favorite for a little while there was Guitar One. Guitar One. The 90s were the years. You'd had Guitar One, Guitar for the Practicing Musician, Guitar World, Guitar Player, Guitar School. And by then we could even get the imports like Total Guitar. I can't remember any other magazine besides that. That's about it. Guitar World, Guitar School, Guitar One, Guitar Player, Guitar for the Practicing Musician, which eventually just became Guitar. Oh. Yeah. That was the first flexi disc I can remember, was the Blue Powder Vi song for the Carvin amp. Then, of course, we went down to this guy who was selling Carvin amps, and that amp sounded nothing like that friggin' demo. Turns out, he had like, for as much as that amp cost, he had that much worth of pre and post effects going. The problem with Guitar Player was that they wouldn't use tabs. They were all standard notation. They got into tablature because they were forced to. They wouldn't do song tabs. Like Guitar for the Practicing Musician was the what I would call the Popeye's hot chicken sandwich of its time. It came out and people shit themselves at how amazing it was. And they sold out. As fast as they could get them on the shelf, that magazine sold out. And the next thing you know, everybody was doing it. Every competitor suddenly was transcribing songs because They couldn't compete. Their magazine was getting left on the shelf. And again, magazines are the old internet. Before the internet, there was magazines. That was the internet, pretty much. And so, in order to, so like say a magazine like this. This is a good one. This is a glue binding. See that? It's got the glue binding. You know that right there? It's a flat. That's a flat glue binding. This is a staple. That's a saddle stitch. See that? Yeah, it's got staples. That's a saddle stitch right there. That's a much, much harder magazine to scan. This is much easier. This one, you just sneak it so you just get the spine, just a little bit of that spine, right over the edge of the blade, and you shave that spine off, just over the edge. And that's where that guillotine paper cutter comes, because it has a clamp that comes down and presses the paper between the two, just outside. So the blade, this thing is like held down all the way across by this big bar, and then the guillotine comes down. If it's not there, it'll wrench the paper over, right? It's not good. You really do need this, or you need some sort of a clamp and razor blade system. But I use a paper cutter. Again, that paper cutter is freaking $200. Cut that off, and then I break it up into sections: color and black and white. And then the process is basically you got to pull these stupid things out. That's still in there from when? This is pretty recent, right? 93. So 31 years ago. So break it up into two camps, color and black and white. And then I will feed the color through in the first section, get that done. And then when I'm done with the color section, I finish it and I name it something like 1 or G1, right? Something like that for guitar or whatever, right? Just number 1. And then, or A. And then I'll do the black and white section. And once that's done, I'll name that. And that goes much faster because you're in a black and white mode. So even though you're at max res, it's still much faster because you're black and white. I'll do that and I'll name it like 2 or G2, right? Or B, right? Something next in line. And then I'll finish up the final color section, which is the very end of the magazine. Get that done. Call it 3, G3, C, something in order. And then what you do is you right click, you highlight those 3 files that are in the scan folder, and you because they're all done, they've already been turned into PDFs and they're sitting there. You highlight them all and then right click and say combine in Adobe Acrobat, and Adobe reads it 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Right, uses a little bit of logic to put it together. G1, G2, G3, and it lines them up in the order. It says, "Is this the right order?" And you go, "Yes, combine." And you press the combine button, and it makes it all into one file. And then you save it, and boom, you're done. So, I don't know if I still have that open here. Yeah. Let me close that. So, as you see here, let me go to 2-page view. Oh God, can you remember not to enable scrolling? Eventually we will get down. Remember, I'm pulling this off a server where they won't be. So there's Becker. Here it is. No, Lynch. Eventually. There it goes. You're in black and white. See how much faster those come in? But even though, don't kid yourself, even though that doesn't look very, high res, I assure you it is. And if I printed this out on a printer, it would look perfect. Let me do single page view. And let me go to fit width. And it's actually quite high res. Again, I'm using it at like maximum setting, you know, to get that like that. And each magazine's taken up between 300 and 550 megs. So, you know. But like I said, the one thing that gets cheaper over the years is storage. And the other thing that gets better is resolution. And what's going to happen is that if you digitize everything and you're throwing it, I'm throwing these away. When I'm done digitizing it, the paper goes in the trash. So this is it, right? So why not do it at the highest res and the best quality? Because in the future, I'll be, you know, running my 8K monitor and it will still look pretty decent. I won't have to blow it up, right? I'm scanning at 300 DPI. So no, your lawyer watches a zip file. Yeah, I don't think I can. I actually loaded a whole bunch up on MediaFire too, because I gave some to Bobby. And who else? Robert Baker. I hooked him up with a few. Let me see here. There we go. The scanned images look excellent. You know, I am running it on max settings, and they do look very colorful. Let me see if I can find another magazine. The open file location. Yeah. So where is one from like go by date modified? Yeah. Just because of the sheer number of pages. Yeah. Oh, Steve. All right, let's turn off scrolling. Let's do a 2-page view. Remember this one? G&L, still hawking Leo Fender back then. What year is this? Does it say? Is there a date on here? Oh yeah, June of '88. That's a early version of the Hydra. You know, when he was on Beato recently, Luke, when he was on Beato recently, he said, you know, it's all about just, you know, just taking something to the extreme. You know, that's sort of the modus operandi. Robert Cray pumping the red knob. Adrian Vandenberg. Oh yeah, mountain theme from an imaginary western. Again, that's all black and white because it's just easier to work with, right? See how much faster they come in. Oh, they had one of these at Guitar Center used for about $300. I almost bought it, but I backed off. An Ashbury bass. It's like, you really want one of those? It's like, no, you don't. You think you do. Killer of Giants. Steve Morse. Boy, you haven't changed a bit, huh? I have no idea who that. Doug Wimbish? Carvin. These pages might be a little screwed up in the middle. Steve Vai. Skyscraper. Look at that, the old Charvel. Baseline for Sky. Little Sister by Ry Cooder. BBE. I had a few of these note for note. That dude made some money. Tony McAlpine. More Steve Vai. Boy, Steve Vai was everywhere, huh? It was 88. Zappa. And then the charts. Remember this? They would show you, yeah, Fender American Standard Strat, Kramer Striker. This is because it's later. This is 88, but for a little while it was Kramer Pacer was the number one for a few years. Anyway. You know what I would love to scan is like a want advertiser from 1981. I can just imagine the guitar ads. You could probably buy a vintage Strat for friggin' $1,500. Something that would be like literally $50,000 today. No dreamers. Yeah, I would love. My dad, for the longest time, he had an old box full of them, but they finally, when they moved, they threw them out. He had them from the late 70s, early 80s. God, I would love to look through those. Look at those old ads. I'm sure they're pretty amazing. It would just be like an insight into a moment in time. Go read some of those old car ads. They eventually broke it up because cars got so big. They just broke it up into the want ads, automotive. Anything, cars, trucks, motorcycles, RVs, ATVs, anything motorized like that went into that. And everything else went into the other one. When they had a huge furniture, God, I can imagine the furniture they must have sold through there. Those are some of the biggest sections. Furniture, and jewelry. Yeah, that was crazy. But it was what you had. My wife reminded me of, she goes, remember when you used to get those computer shopper magazines? I'm like, oh yeah, man. She goes, that was pretty much all supplanted by the internet. Pretty much put them right out of business. Computer shopper. Just this massive. Was that a weekly? Couldn't have been weekly. Was it monthly? Was it weekly? I forget how quick. What was the publication on that? Was it it couldn't have been a weekly, was it? I feel like it was a monthly. That thing was it's like getting a Sears catalog every month. The Dunbark's Metal Heaven. Do they still print Hennings? Remember Hennings? That was like a big auto trader. Is Auto Trader still a thing? They probably don't have the magazine any longer. You bought 2 PCs through Computer Shopper? I know I must have bought one. At least 1 or 2, Auto Trader. I always look forward to the Sears catalog coming out. Well, the Sears catalog, if you're a kid, I mean, you'd have this one thing that not only had a massive toy section, but also had, some go-karts. They had a whole section on go-karts and mini bikes. And, of course, the guitars. It looks like we beat the Heat by 40, 20. Oh, yeah, God, Byte magazine. And I used to get the Amiga. Was it Memory Lock? What was it? Thanks, Ambrose. If you're trying any of those Electro Harmonix B9, C9, Key 9, or Synth 9 pedals, I have not. I mainly go through software. They have tried to emulate that stuff, but they don't really do it that well. What do they have for a synth? I think they use the POG. Isn't that a type of... Yeah, so what do they have? They have... Yeah. It's the POG. Except they call it the GOP. Because, lawsuits. Do they have anything else? I don't see it. I see delays and choruses. Distortions. I think the closest we get is... Not really the same. Kind of sounds like a harmonizer, Gotta get rid of that. Sounds more like a harmonizer than It sounds way more like a harmonizer to me than they don't really have one, is what I'm saying, because I don't micro pitch, whammy, modular verb. That's the closest I'm seeing. That's just a straight harmonizer. Do they have anything? Amp trim, vibrato, Dro vibe. No. Yeah. Not really. Amp trim. Yeah, unfortunately, I mainly use the software, and they don't really make a companion product. I wish they would, though. Wouldn't hurt to put a synth in there. They have friggin' everything else in there. Who's up there? I don't think I think we have an empty window. Yeah, high perfect exchanges, yeah. I think there is an acoustic sim. That's a good question. Is there an acoustic sim? I gotta think so. Yeah. But don't I have to, let me... I feel like I need a clean sound, right? That's the acoustic guitar simulator. Which I find all they do really is they just scoop. They add a lot more bass. I'm probably not using the right amp. Output is maxed. Doesn't sound right. That's going to be a no from me, dog. Where am I looking for? I am looking for that there. That's Silver Jubilee. Dual heavy rating. The Behave lead. Oh, Behave. Lead? Yeah. Yeah, PAs will pick up would sound better. You know, any of those. There was a huge push a few years ago to go like, we can make your Strat sound like a Les Paul. We can make your Les Paul sound like a Strat. Using like this, like, you know, very input technology, like Variacs and all that stuff. It was garbage. You know, just stick with, you don't need to do that. We'll just go buy a humbucker guitar. You don't. Yeah, the Wish book of Nothing But Toys. Or the Burn, it would be the spring like fashion catalog. I'd be like so excited that the new Sears catalog showed up and it was nothing. It's all friggin' outfits. Like what a ripoff. Have a good one, Justin. Yeah, the Garanimals. No. Tough Skins. Out of the Husky section. Yeah, I remember going with my parents into the big Sears, the one in Boston, at the Landmark building now. That building is so friggin' huge. I remember we would go to that Sears. right by the Fenway, right by the Fenway Park. And then it was a Best Buy for a while, and I don't know what's in there now. A Best Buy occupied a tiny fraction of that building. It was so huge. But I remember going there when it was Sears, and I could not believe like how much bigger that Sears was than the one at our local Sears. It was so freaking huge. I told Sounds at Sailor Studio show last week. There you go. Actually, if you use the link in the description for Sounds for me, I don't know it for sure, but I almost guarantee you they have tracking in there. They track and see. They give me a unique number so that, right, use promo code, Butler, right? That's why they do that on the radio, right? So they can know how that lead came through. So I am sure, like, if you use that link, they track it. They would know. Bruins scored on the power play, or they're just on the power play? Oh God, the Sears Auto Center, man, what a friggin', that was huge. Yeah, we had a Woolworths, and our Woolworths had a luncheon. That's how old our Woolworths was. They literally had a luncheon. There was another one in West Roxbury, but that wasn't quite the same. That Woolworths wasn't quite like the one at the Dedham Mall. The one at the Dedham Mall was a little more modern. That's even possible. The first place I remember like being mainstream and actually having electric guitars on the wall was Lechmere, which was a department store in the Boston area. And they carried Ibanez. It was like weird. It was like, what? Oh God, yeah, Jordan Marsh in Boston. God, I used to shop at Jordan Marsh. You want to talk about a different time. I could go to Jordan Marsh. I could take the train, go to Jordan Marsh in the city, or I could drive down to the one in Braintree and go up to their office with a note from my mother and her Jordan Marsh card saying my son is authorized to use my card. And they would say, okay, and they would write me out a temporary card on paper. And they had a special piece of paper just for it, temporary shopping credit card, store card. And it would be signed off by the manager, and I could go down and pick out my clothes, and I could charge it to my mother's Jordan Marsh card. They would never let you do that now. You go, oh yeah, here's a note from my mother. Like, sure. Yeah, I think those days are over. Yeah, Craftsman. I couldn't remember the name of that third place. It was Snap-on, Mack, of course, Craftsman. But there was another truck that used to drive around that wasn't Snap-on or Mack. What was the name of that third truck? I can't remember it. There was Snap-on. There was Mack. I can't think of it. And it was one of those roaming trucks. Marco. No, might be Matco. Matco. That's it. That's it. Matco. I know. See, don't let them tell you that you're crazy. No, it was Matco. It was Matco. All day. Didn't they have like a wrench, right, on Matco, right? It was like a wrench over a bolt or something, right? No, we had three. We had Snap-on, Mack, and Matco. Matco. And Mack was a completely different company. MAC, Mack. Yeah, that's it. Matco. Yep. But Craftsman was still the cheapest and still great too. I agree. I never saw the value, you know. I never saw the value in the Snap-on. Well, a lot of the dudes at the shop, those mechanics, you know, they would get in deep with the friggin' Snap-on guy. They were on friggin' payment plans. And I could have sworn I saw some recent video, and it was, I saw a Snap-on truck. I'm like, oh my God, is Snap-on still even in business? I can't believe in the day and age of the internet that those roaming trucks can still do a business. I felt like they were always sort of broke back then. I know some dudes who were sort of ruined by those trucks, right? Lost their shirt. Yeah, Craftsman had a lifetime guarantee. If they broke it, they replaced it. Oh my God. The treasure of finding a broken screwdriver on the street. Oh my God, free screwdriver. Run it right down to Sears. Yes, the screwdriver no longer meets my needs. Okay. They used to let you go pick out a screwdriver, but then they stopped that. They would go get a screwdriver. Okay, this is the replacement screwdriver. All right. Let's see if I have any. Oh yeah, there's a photo for you. So I sprayed the top of the barrels and around the barrels with my new poison. That they wrote a song about it. Poison. And I noticed this fly was sitting there, and I'm like, "How you doing there, fly?" And I walked up, and I'm like, "Oh, that fly's dead." Oh, that fly landed and was like, not going to happen. I showed this to a friend of mine. He goes, leave it there as a warning to other flies. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. Yeah, I still had, and you guys who mow your run-alongs will know this. You know your little bug buddy, right? You're mowing the lawn. You got this one bug that's just constantly like darting your face. You're like, you get the frick, what? The hell's wrong? It's not a mosquito either. It's not a mosquito. It's like a gnat or something. It's annoying. You know, it kills him. Kills them all. I'm going to have to lay down the law. You know what I'm on to now for tools is buying a full set of screwdrivers. A giant full-size set of screwdrivers at Harbor Freight for $4. And if it breaks, I don't give a shit. Right in the trash and right down to buy another one. That's where I'm at. Tools as disposable commodities. Oh my God, I love the bug assault. Oh, the bug assault is the best. The assault rifle, right? It's filled with salt. You fill it with salt, and then you blast the salt, and you can get a fly. And oh my God, it works. You're spraying salt in your house if you're spraying salt, whatever. I'll live. The bug assault is the friggin' best, though. Oh my God. Amazing. The only thing is you got to clean it, and it sucks on it works better in dry weather. I almost feel like you have to almost put like a cornstarch or something to keep it drier. You got to keep the salt really dry so it doesn't jam up in there and pack in, right? And you can get it to go out. But other than that, other than the salt turning a little moist and clumping together, the bug assault is friggin' amazing. Greatest invention ever. Oh my God, E-Man. I totally agree. The worst thing is when you have to buy an expensive tool. You need it for like one job that's over in about 10 seconds. But you know what? You're not doing it without that tool. It's never going to happen. Then you're like, I am buying this tool for 10 seconds. And then could you return the tool? Maybe, probably, yeah. But it's like, I don't do it because, I didn't need the tool. And, I'm not going to, of course, I'm going to keep the tool. But still, I know what you're saying. You know what's really bad like that? The whole guitar market. Everybody's got a goddamn specialized tool, and they're friggin' ridiculously expensive. I am surprised a low-cost StewMac has not emerged. I feel like there's room there. That someone could get together and become the Harbor Freight of guitar tools. And just curate a whole bunch of, import... Because that's all StewMac is doing. And marking it up by, 10,000%. How much is this file? $4? How much are we selling it for? $138. What? Plus shipping. But you know what? They have some goddamn specialty tool, and man, it's the only one. It's it. The Z file. There's a bunch of stuff. They have a little scissor jack for bringing up, collapsed faces on a... I mean, so many little things. And you're like, yeah, I guess. Music Nomad, is that the one? Has anybody risen? So it's been 8 years since the Squire Roundup. Here's what I learned about the Squire Roundup. Pick the worst guitar ever. Somebody will be out there defending that guitar. It's not so bad, but the fret ends are poking out. The neck is like a baseball bat. The pickups are terrible. The bridge can barely stay in tune. The tuners, are like they're terrible, and you got to make a few mods. Yeah, but why wouldn't you just buy a guitar that's a little bit more money? Well, then you can put the mods on you want. I'm like, yeah, but your argument's going from they're all over the place. Squire does make some amazing guitars. Classic Vibe. The Classic Vibe is an amazing guitar. And I thought the Vintage Modified series was really good, too. Their Deluxe series is pretty good, but their Standard series was just okay. and their Bullet series was kind of weak, you know. And you know who talked about this recently was the captain. He's like, you know, when you're building a $1,500 guitar, the $5 difference in build cost means nothing. When you're building a $99 guitar or a $119 guitar, a $5 difference is massive. Like, you can't even, like, wrap your head around the difference between that extra $5, you know? Because it really is. It's huge. So, I think that Squire makes some amazing guitars, but not all of them. You know, as I've said before, if every guitar is special, then no guitar is special. Bruins scored. That's good to know. Ooh. Nice. I'll catch the second and third periods. Took a locally class, bought a lot of tools from StewMac. One diamond fret file was $130. Yeah. No, they get you. You know, StewMac is a lot of things, but cheap. But a bargain isn't one of them. Cheap isn't one of them. Oh, I mean, who's in? Is it Allmark in net? Who's in net? Did they stick with the rotation? So I don't know if I threw the new plate. I think I showed you. I remember my son's car had the little thing right there. Let me see if I can. Thought I did a recent. Yeah. Boom, right there. It literally clicks right in. Literally clicks right in. Click, click. And put this thing right in here. It goes in, it slots in this side and then clicks in this side. You put it in, push it in, and click, and it goes in. Fixed. $60. Now I need. Well, I'm working it out with them, but we're very far apart. They don't want to fix it. Let me show you the damage. Let me just show you the damage again. Again, I really shouldn't get into this because I'm fighting with them. But you see that? They totaled the car. They totaled it. And I said, oh, well, okay. But then they came back with a ridiculously low amount. And I said, oh, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. And I put together a little breakdown of what I wanted, which was triple what they wanted. Is it Swayman? Did they keep Swayman in? Oh my God. Wow. They did not, so they did not go back to Allmark. They kept Swayman in net. Wow. Yeah. No, they totaled that. And then they want us to buy the car back. You know? And I was like, no. No. I said, well, sure. But, we bought the car, 9 days earlier for this amount, plus tax. We can take it, but I can't buy the car for that, So here's a database market price of 11 of the same car across the U.S. We can take the median and we can take the mean, which is roughly the same. That would be around 11,000 and change, and then we'll deduct the salvage value, and we'll get to almost what I paid for the car. I can live with that, but they don't want to do that. Yeah, no, they want to total it for that. And again, and I can't stress it enough. For $55, that's what it looks like now. It was like literally just this little thing. Now that's a little scraped, and this is a little scraped, and there's a little scrape right here, and I guess this has got a little scrape, and they wanted to replace all this. But still, I told them, I said, you're insane to total it, but if you want to total it, fine. But to total it, I'm going to need a lot more money than you're offering. And so that's where we're fighting. We're back and forth on it. I was like, I think you're insane. I think you can fix it for a lot cheaper than you're going to buy me out to not total it. And then the other good thing in this state is we have a number of laws. We have our 93A law, but very specifically, we have 176D, where if the liability is clear, and in this case it is clear, and there's no good reason for the insurance company not to pay out, and they refuse to, or they put an amount out that's patently, ridiculously below what it should be compared to the loss, you can actually sue for triple your value. It's to disincentivize such shenanigans. So I could always say, well, we could always go to a judge under 176D and just see what they think about it. That usually gets the humana. No, we can work this out. I just think that they were so quick to total it that they thought that this would be the easy way out, but it's not going to be. I already wrote them a letter that I'm sure when they read that letter, they're like, shit. Unfortunately, your offer was woefully inadequate and fails to fairly compensate us for our loss. Woefully inadequate. Yeah, no, I did. I called shenanigans right on it, Pooh. You got it right. Shenanigans. Please. I think at one point I was like, you're getting this money under subrogation through the other insurance company. Whose side are you on? Well, if we pay out you too much, we'll be fighting with them. Like, I don't give a shit who you're fighting with. Just don't fight with me. I'm the one I'm the one who paid you. We pay you a ridiculous amount of money for insurance. Quite frankly, we pay you more in 1 year than what I'm asking for reimbursement on the car. So, I think you can pony it up. Exactly. Do we cheat him and how? Took you a year to get compensated for an accident on 4/30/23. Just got your check, yeah. What you find out is that for an amount so small, like if this was an injury and I was asking for $250,000, they have every incentive to fight. They really do. When it's an amount I'm asking for, it's under $10,000, I guarantee they have some cutoff point where they're just like, how much money are we putting in to fight this? Just to even answer a 93A demand letter under 176D would, cost at least a paralegal's hourly work to address all the points. And by law, they must make a reasonable offer. And there's literally a citation you can put in there. And of course, under Bachman, the offer must be, as determined by Bachman, reasonable. And you say, yeah, how's that, dick? So we'll see what happens. We're fighting. We're in a big fight. I'm not, but, he wants it. So he gets it. Some men you just can't get through to. Exactly, Bachman Turner in Overdrive. So, yeah, no, it used to be kind of, the insurance company held all the cards, and they would just say, well, we'll go to court, right? And it was to be, they had you over a barrel. So they put a law out that says, well, if you force them to go to court and you should have just paid this out, then they can get triple their money and all their attorney's fees. And then they were like, oh, that's not good. That's way, way more than we originally were going to pay out. So, okay, all right. You know what? You make a good case. You make a good claim. So it's it has a way. Sometimes, a pointed letter to all the salient points has a way of concentrating the mind. Yeah, they look, they basically said, we go by this book. And I said, well, your book is, outdated because the used car market. We have to go by the market, not some figure in a book that's pretty much underwritten by the insurance industry, right? Oh, no, our book says this. Well, fuck your fucking book. You shove your book up your ass. It means nothing to me, right? So I'm saying, like, on the market, if I go to, like, cars.com and I look up this car and I look at what's available on the market right now, then your book is way off. We can take an average of the cars that are out there. We can take the mean, the median, and the motherfucking mode. And we can put that all out. You can show me where am I wrong on this? Stupid book, please. I'd like to meet the guy who wrote that. Your book is full of bullshit. That book isn't worth the paper it's written on. Oh, it's very convenient book for the insurance company. Oh no, it says it right here in the book. Yeah, well, who gives a shit? What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Actually, I did spend a lot of time in a body shop. I did work in a body shop, so we'll see. No, you're right, Guitar Man. They always hope you're going to give up. They're not going to put up a fight. But, bitch, I'm trained in the fighting business. No, we'll see. Of course, very cordially and politely. It's all academic, of course. Unfortunately, I found your offer woefully inadequate and failing to meet our loss in this matter. It seems like you're attempting to declare it a total loss, but only want to make a partial payment. Down goes Frazier. Exactly. Yeah, oh my God, it's 8:59. Time flies when you're bitching. All right, no, you rock. So next week, maybe I'll keep one of the guitars for next week's show. Oh, no, I can't, because then I would give away what the guitar is. Conundrum. Well, we'll see. Maybe one of them we'll hold on to. And I will send the rest of them back. I'm only going to keep them here for a couple of days. They should be here, I think they're saying Monday or Tuesday. All three guitars should be here. And so we will see. I'd like to keep one I can keep it for up to 90 days. Right? That's if you look at the terms, they're actually, it's not open-ended. I can hold on to the guitar for up to 90 days. I don't even want it for 9 days, you know what I'm saying, let alone 90. I don't like to keep guitars here. I want to get in the air, unbox them, shoot the video in like 1 to 2 days, all the videos, box them back up, and get the next round in, and get ahead of it, right, and get the stuff in the on the server and the raw footage done. So then we can go from there. But I would like to keep one for a weekend. I'm sure we would love to go over one. But it has to be after it already airs. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. All right. No, you rock. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. Super extra special thanks to anyone who contributed. I always appreciate that. Of course, Brofist to my mod squad. Hashtag Brofist. Hashtag mod squad. I don't think I saw a mod tonight, but we don't really need them. I think since I have the subscribe feature on, we don't get the spam like we used to. I think it's way reduced since you have to be a subscriber, I think, for 20 minutes before you can. Right? That curbs a lot of shenanigans. But not for my insurance company. Why, I oughta. Whose side are you on? That offer, it got me right here. And right here. All right, you guys have a wonderful week. And we will do it all again next week. And there you go. No, you rock. All right, dudes. I'm hearing. Oh. Cat. Oh. Cat butt. The boots. The wee boots. Crawling underneath the... All right, dudes. Have a great week. I'll see you all next week. And have a wonderful week. And there you go. And my member guys, you might get an early look at the guitars. I'm just saying. So my member dudes, keep your eye on the community this week. I'll take some still photos when they come in, and I'll share them for my member dudes. All right. Have a great week. I'll see you next week.